Your inner being, that's us, knows where you stand in vibrational relationship to everything you want. And further, your inner being knows what your path of least resistance is to it, which means your inner being knows what your desires are and how they are unfolding. And your inner being knows what beliefs you hold that are hindering to this desire, this maturation of your desires, tended by your inner being and encouraged and amplified and growing because of law of attraction. So when you're in the receiving mode, your thoughts will come in a way that literally guides you around your trouble spots. You'll find yourself, once you get in this flow of unfolding, you'll be thinking fewer and fewer thoughts about those things that used to be a hindrance to you. It only takes 17, 16, 17, 16, 17, 16, closer to 16 to 17 seconds for law of attraction to respond to a vibrational output by you. So if you find a thought that feels sort of kind of good, another thought will join it quickly. If you can find no thought, then the thought of your inner mind, the thought of your inner being, will be what sets the tone of what law of attraction brings to you next. So you know how you know that you've got off on this really good foot? Let's say you're in meditation. Do you ever meditate? Let's say you're in meditation, you've been there for 15 or 20 minutes. Your mind sort of wandered all over the place because you've got all of these things that you need to do, that you should do, all of those things that we were talking about. Your to-do list is running through your mind. The argument you had last night or yesterday, you're feeling a little defensive. So it takes a little while for you to talk yourself out of that by focusing on something that's not very important, like the ticking of a clock. Esther just bought a really good, loud ticking clock. She just loves listening to that thing. Not interesting at all, but it is loud. So find something to focus on, and as you focus upon that, whatever it is that requires thought but doesn't let your mind go too far, it won't take long before you'll feel a detachment. You'll feel maybe weightless. Maybe you can't tell your nose from your toe. A sort of detached state of being. And when that happens, you're in that state of non-resistance. And as you stay there for a minute or 2 or 3, it might take you 11, 12, 13 minutes to get there. If you will sit and focus upon something not very meaningful, then you will feel that detachment. And once you do, just bask in the no thought. Don't even think about it if you can help it. Don't say, oh, I'm detached, because then you won't be. Just softly enjoy the feeling of detachment. You might even begin to feel some movement. You might even begin to feel your inner being's guidance about your body. Something in your body might move. You might find some soft, gentle movement, and just allow it, and try not to get too excited about it. But then something really wonderful will happen. A thought will come right out of the vortex and into your mind, and it will be such a good feeling thought, you'll know where it came from. And as you now have a sort of more deliberate awareness inside your meditation, as you ponder that thought for as little as 16 seconds, another thought like it will join it, and you will feel the emotional satisfaction of the progression of your reception of the thought. Now, what's happening? Vibrations are turning to thoughts, and a thought manifested in your mind. You received it, and once you received it, if you can stay there for another 16 seconds and then another, once you cross that 68-second mark, now you are in the full state of receiving. And often about then, you just can't sit there anymore. There's something that you feel an impulse to do. It might be call someone, but it will for sure be, if it happened the way we just described to you, it will be A path with no resistance on it, because remember, your inner being knows where everything you want is and knows the best path to get you there. If you try to go directly to the action that you think is required to get you something that you want, and you have thoughts of resistance about that, as soon as you start making the action or making the moves to go there, you'll lose your connection. You'll lose your leverage to this source energy that creates worlds. And then you will be doing what almost everybody is doing, banging it out in the physical. If you try to get there too fast and you jump into action too fast, there will be resistance all over the place, and then you'll just be banging it out like you have been, and you will lose the leverage that you could have had you allowed it to be inspired action. There's such a difference in that motivated action where I said I would go and I need to go, and this is my goal and this is my timing, and I'm just going to do it, and I'm going to make it happen, and I'm going to throw enough mud on the wall and some of it will stick, and it's so exhausting. And while you can keep that pace up for a little while, it isn't sustaining because you have not returned to the replenishing mode. That's what the receptive mode is. It's the replenishing mode. It's where you keep being fed by source with ideas and energy and vitality and knowing, you see. What happens with so many people is that they are offering so much behavior and so much action and so many words, trying to compensate for energy that they didn't flow. And you just can't get there from there. You cannot get there from there. You cannot get to where you want to be in only an action-oriented way. You've got to enlist the knowledge of your inner being, the energy of this source energy. You have to get up to vibrational speed with who you really are. And when you're in the receiving mode, so many things that are in your vortex will begin to show up. Some moments will be full. They'll be laden with 3 or 4 or 5 or 20 or maybe even more simultaneous things that are satisfying, all happening at the same time. Can you imagine that? Can you sense that coming for you? And so this is our best sales job ever of why you might want to meditate. Life will keep coming at you because of your point of attraction that you've been practicing. And you're not going to stop that point of attraction all at once. You're going to work the bugs out of it a little bit at a time. You have all of the tools, you were born with them, that you need. It just requires being willing to start at a place where your true momentum can grow to the inspiration that you really love when it comes. Wouldn't you rather feel true enthusiasm for something than determination? Wouldn't you rather feel passion for something than conviction? Wouldn't you rather feel absolute love and appreciation than I need to do this because it's been assigned to me?